Friends, welcome to the chemistry class. Today I am going to teach you the dehydrohalogenation of haloalkane. It is oftenly known as the beta elimination reaction. It involves the loss of hydrogen and halogen from the haloalkane. Uh, Dehydrohalogenation generally take place by heating haloalkane with strong base such as sodium ethoxide or potassium ethoxide. So when the alcoholic KOH solution, that is KOH, dissolve in alcohol, uh, uh, form potassium ethoxide, uh, which act as a strong base. Okay, so when the haloalkane treated with the strong base, it will take away the beta hydrogen, and elimination reaction gives alkene as the major product. Okay, so the dehydrohalogenation, it is called the beta elimination, and it involves the E2 elimination pathway. Okay, so it is the E2 elimination reaction, and here the example, it's a bromoethane, right? So when it is treated with the hot alcoholic KOH solution, so here this is the alpha carbon and the nearby carbon is the beta, so right? So this alcoholic KOH solution form the potassium ethoxide, and which act as a strong base, so it takes away the beta hydrogen from here, right? So the removal of this hydrogen and halogen from here gives alkene as the major product. Okay, so it's a dehydrohalogenation or beta elimination reaction. Okay, so in case if the haloalkane having two beta hydrogen, right, so the elimination of hydrogen from either the side leads to the formation of two different alkene, and however the more substituted alkene is formed as the major product according to the Setchev rule. Okay, Setchev rule states that whenever there is two beta carbon having hydrogen, then elimination gives the more substituted alkene as the major product, or in other words, the hydrogen is removed from the beta carbon having less number of hydrogen. Okay, so for example here it's a 2-chlorobutane. Okay, so the halogen which is attached to the carbon is the alpha, and either the side you have the beta carbon. Okay, so the elimination reaction, that is removal of beta hydrogen from here and halogen, gives the 1-butene as the product, and removal of this halogen and beta hydrogen from here gives 2-butene as the major product. Okay, so according to the Setchev rule, right, the beta elimination take place right, the at the position right, at the carbon which having the lesser number of hydrogen. Okay, so here it has the 3 hydrogen, here the carbon having 2 hydrogen. So according to the Setchev rule, the more substituted product is favored. Okay, so it would likely to remove the hydrogen from this beta carbon or this beta hydrogen. Okay, and gives 2 alkene or 2-butene as the major product. Okay, so in general the more number of alkyl substituents attached to the olefinic carbon, higher the stability of alkene. Okay, so Setchev rule states that the more substituted alkene is obtained as the major product by the elimination reaction, since more the number of alkyl group, due to the plus inductive effect it increases the stability of the alkene. Okay, so as the number of alkyl group increases due to the more pronounced effect of plus inductive effect, right, the stability of alkene increases. Okay, and it involves the E2 elimination pathway. So here when alcoholic KOH solution, right, that is KOH dissolve in alcohol, form the potassium ethoxide and it acts as a strong base. Okay, and this strong base here, it would likely to take away this beta hydrogen, right? This is the alpha hydrogen and this is the beta hydrogen, which is positioned opposite to the halogen. Okay, so it takes away this hydrogen. At the same time, the removal of halogen from here, right, gives alkene as the product. Okay, and here the movement of this bond pair of electron from the double bond. Okay, so alkene obtained as the major product, right? So E2 elimination is similar as the SN2 nucleophilic substitution reaction, right? Since the abstraction of proton by base and removal of halogen take place simultaneously. Okay, so it's a E2 elimination pathway. And dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halide in the presence of strong base is often accomplished by the formation of substitution product. Okay, so substitution and elimination reaction take place simultaneously. Okay, so here the whether the reaction is nucleophilic substitution or elimination reaction, it depends on numbers of factors, right? Since here both the reaction compete with each other, that is nucleophilic substitution or elimination reaction. So whether the reaction is substitution or elimination, it depends on first the types of haloalkane or the nature of haloalkane. Okay, or the structure of haloalkane. So if we move from primary haloalkane toward the secondary and tertiary haloalkane, the reactivity of haloalkane increases, right? So if we move from primary toward the tertiary haloalkane, it would likely to prefer elimination reaction over the substitution reaction, right? So here the elimination product, right, is dominant over the substitution product. If you move from tertiary haloalkane toward the primary haloalkane, right, the substitution product increases over the elimination product. Okay, so the first important factor, that is the structure of haloalkane. In tertiary haloalkane, it would, right, and exclusively undergo the elimination reaction. In case of primary haloalkane, at low temperature, it undergo the substitution reaction. Okay, second, the types of base or the nature of the base, right? So more the bulkier base, right, or larger the base, due to the steric hindrance, it would likely to undergo the elimination reaction over the substitution reaction due to the steric hindrance. Okay, so here you have the two bases, one of the ethoxide and the other is the tertiary butoxide. So tertiary butoxide having the larger the size, right? So due to the larger size of the tertiary butoxide or more bulkier group, it would like to take away hydrogen easily rather than to undergo the substitution reaction. In case of ethoxide, right, if it is primary halide, then it undergoes the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, third important point, that is whether the reaction is substitution or elimination, it depends on temperature. As you raise the temperature, the entropy of the reaction increases and it always favors the elimination reaction over the substitution reaction. Whereas the low temperature, right, depends on structure. If it is primary alkyl halide and if it is sodium ethoxide, it would likely to undergo the substitution reaction. Now let us take some examples whether the reaction is substitution reaction or elimination. It's a primary haloalkane, straight chain haloalkane, and the reaction in the presence of strong base sodium ethoxide dissolve in ethanol, right? So here, since it is strong base, it can act as a nucleophile, so it would likely to attack on this electrophilic carbon and undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction, so gives the 90% of the substituted product. At the same time, it also likely to abstract the beta hydrogen from here and gives the elimination product 10% of the elimination product. Okay, so since the primary haloalkane, it's a straight chain haloalkane, so it would be more easier for base to attack, right, rather than to undergo the elimination reaction and give 90% of the substitution product and 10% of only elimination product. In case of secondary haloalkane, right, it's a branch haloalkane. Now this is the strong base, so right, it for the strong base it would be very difficult to attack here, right, to approach on the electrophilic carbon for the substitution reaction because of steric hindrance, right, rather than it would be more easier for base to abstract the beta hydrogen from here and gives the elimination as the major product. So 85% of the elimination product and only 15% of the substitution product is obtained. And for tertiary haloalkane, right, it's exclusively the elimination product, since this haloalkane substrate is the branch, highly branch, due to the more steric hindrance, right. So for the base it would be very difficult to approach here and undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction, rather than it would be more is to abstract the beta hydrogen and gives the elimination as the major product. So 93% of the elimination product and only 7% of the substitution product is obtained. So whether the reaction is elimination or substitution, it depends on structure of haloalkane. So moving from primary to secondary to tertiary, the elimination product increases over the substitution product, and for primary haloalkane it is mainly the substitution product. Okay, so whether the reaction is elimination or substitution, since it also depends on types of the base, right. So what type of the base is used here? We have the two base, one of the potassium ethoxide and the other is the potassium butoxide. The potassium butoxide, it's a more sterically hindered base, right, since it has the 3 alkyl groups. So it's a branch, highly branch, right, it's a bulkier group and it is more sterically hindered base, and for this base it would be very difficult to attack on the electrophilic carbon, right, and to proceed for the nucleophilic substitution, rather than it would be more ease for this base to abstract the beta hydrogen and favor the elimination reaction. Okay, so whereas the potassium ethoxide, okay, potassium ethoxide, it favor the substitution reaction over the elimination reaction. Okay, so if the haloalkane is the primary haloalkane, right, and base is potassium ethoxide, it always favor the substitution reaction over the elimination, and if more bulkier base is used, it favor the elimination over the substitution reaction. Okay, and the reaction, whether the reaction is substitution or elimination, it also depends on temperature, right. So whenever the haloalkane is treated with the strong base, right, and when it is heated or in the hot alcoholic KOH, it always prefer to undergo the elimination reaction over the substitution reaction. So whenever you find the symbol DILT, means heating with the strong base, right, always gives the elimination as the major product. Now let us see the dehydration of alcohol. So dehydration of alcohol involves the removal of water molecule when it is heated with concentrated sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid. So here the reaction of alcohol either with concentrated sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid, right, gives alkene. This reaction can also be facilitated in the presence of aluminum oxide, phosphorus pentoxide or thorium dioxide. So when alcohol is heated with aluminum oxide, phosphorus pentoxide or thorium dioxide, the removal of water molecule gives alkene. Okay, and here the reactivity of alcohol for dehydration is tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary. So tertiary alcohol undergo more readily dehydration than secondary than primary. Okay, so tertiary is more reactive for toward the dehydration, that is ease of reaction. Okay, uh, for tertiary alcohol greater than secondary greater than primary alcohol. Okay, and the elimination of water molecule from alcohol, it involves removal of beta hydrogen according to the Sertchev rule. So it follows the Sertchev rule, that is the beta elimination reaction. Okay, so here there are some examples for the dehydration of alcohol. It's a primary alcohol, it's a propan 1-ol. When it is heated with the concentrated sulfuric acid, this is alpha carbon, this is the beta, right? So removal of beta hydrogen according to the Sertchev rule, and OH as the water molecule gives 1 propene. Okay, the second reaction, that is secondary alcohol, it's a butane 2-ol. Okay, so when it react with the concentrated sulfuric acid at 100 degrees Celsius temperature, gives butene as the product. So here either the site there is beta hydrogen, so the elimination of water molecule according to the Sertchev rule. So the beta carbon which having the less number of hydrogen and OH removed as a water molecule produce butene as the major product. Okay, so always it follow the Sertchev rule, and this is the minor product 1-butene. Okay, the next example is the tertiary, it's a tertiary butanol. Okay, it's supposed to be here OH group. Okay, by mistake it is written, it is OH group, and when it is heated with the concentrated sulfuric acid 80 degrees Celsius, the removal of OH from here and beta hydrogen gives 2-methyl 1-propene. Okay, plus water molecule. So as we move from primary towards secondary towards the tertiary alcohol, there is ease of reaction. So primary alcohol is carried out at 170 degree, so we need to supply some heat or energy, right, to remove the water molecule. Secondary alcohol is more reactive than primary, so the reaction temperature decreased by 100 degrees Celsius, so it's more is than primary alcohol, and elimination reaction according to the Sertchev rule gives this product. And tertiary alcohol, this is more ease of reaction, it take place at the near to the above the room temperature, that is 80 degrees Celsius, in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, and removal of water molecule, that is by according to the Sertchev rule. Okay, so the reactivity of alcohol increases, right, as we move from primary towards secondary toward tertiary alcohol. And the mechanism, here the mechanism, it involves the carbocation intermediate, it's a substrate or alcohol having OH group, OH functional group, the oxygen having the 2 unshared pair of electron, right? So in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, it's a strong acid, so it gives H plus ion. Okay, so here the lone pair of electron attract toward the proton and form oxonium ion, right, this oxonium ion. So there is this lone pair of electron paired unshared pair of electron bonded with the hydrogen atom form oxonium ion. And in the second step, the removal of water molecule, so here the breaking of carbon oxygen bond, right, so the cleavage of this bond take place, so this bond electron moves here and neutralize the positive charge. Okay, and form the carbocation intermediate. Here the removal of water molecule, so this bond electron it moves away from here and neutralize the positive charge and removed as a water molecule, right, produce the carbocation intermediate. Okay, so this is the carbocation intermediate, and in the next step the removal of proton from here. So there is water molecule in the system, so water molecule takes away this hydrogen and it is removed as a H3O plus, and this bond electron move here toward the carbocation and form a double bond. Okay, so it gives, finally it gives the alkene. Okay, so overall reaction mechanism, it form the carbocation intermediate, and as we know the reactivity of the carbocation, okay, the stability of carbocation, that is tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary than primary. Okay, in case of tertiary carbocation there are 3 methyl groups, so the methyl group, so plus inductive effect, okay, of the methyl group that stabilize the carbocation intermediate. So tertiary carbocation is more stabilized, right, due to the greater plus inductive effect than secondary than primary carbocation. Okay, so the reactivity of alcohol follow the same order. Tertiary carbocation is more reactive than secondary than primary. Okay, since the stability of carbocation govern, it controls the reactivity of the alcohol. Okay. So one of the limitation of this alcohol dehydration, that dehydration is that it produces the carbocation, right, and it involves the carbocation rearrangement. Okay, and the carbocation rearrangement results the alkene, different alkene than the expected alkene. Okay, so one of the limitation one can say, that is the carbocation rearrangement either by 1,2-hydrate shift or 1,2-methyl shift. Okay, and since the carbocation would likely to rearrange itself toward the more stable carbocation, if it is primary carbocation, it would likely to rearrange and form the secondary carbocation. If it is secondary carbocation, it would likely to rearrange either by 1,2-methyl or 1,2-hydrate shift to the tertiary carbocation. Okay, and since the tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary than primary, right, so this carbocation rearrange itself and the expected alkene obtained, that is product obtained, is different than the expected. Okay, now let us see. So this rearrangement of the carbocation is known as the Wagner-Mervin rearrangement. Okay, so during the dehydration of alcohol, carbocation intermediate form, and this carbocation intermediate would likely to rearrange itself toward the more stable carbocation either by 1,2-hydride or 1,2-methyl shift, and this rearrangement known as the Wagner-Mervin rearrangement. Now let us take the example of dehydration of alcohol. It's a 1,2,3,3,3 dimethyl butane so when it is treated with the concentrated sulfuric acid, the elimination reaction takes place according to the Sachef rule. So this beta hydrogen, this is wrong actually, it's a alpha carbon, this is the beta hydrogen. So the removal of beta hydrogen and OH from here, right, as a water molecule gives 1,2,3,3,3 dimethyl but1-ene as the product. So our expected product is but1-ene, that is 3,3-dimethyl but1-ene. But as we have talked earlier, right, the reaction proceeds through the carbocation intermediate, and the carbocation would likely to rearrange itself toward the more stable carbocation either by 1,2-hydride or 1,2-methyl shift. Okay, toward the more stable carbocation, and the obtained product is different than the expected product. Okay, so here let us see how the reaction proceeds. Okay, so this is the alcohol. Okay, our alcohol, when it is reacted with the concentrated sulfuric acid, it's a strong acid, right, that gives H plus ion. Okay, so here the OH hydroxyl group, the oxygen of the hydroxyl group having the two unshared pair of the electron, so it attracted toward the hydrogen and form OH2 plus, so it formed the oxonium ion here, right? So formation of oxonium ion, and in the later step the cleavage of the carbon oxygen bond from here, right? So the breaking of this carbon oxygen bond, so this carbon becomes the electron deficient, and this bond electron move toward the oxygen and neutralize the positive charge. Okay, now since this carbon becomes the electron deficient, it develops the positive charge here, so the carbocation is formed. It's a secondary carbocation. Now the rearrangement take place. Okay, so here the adjacent methyl group, this methyl group, right, taking away this bond electron, it is shifted to the carbocation. It is known as the 1,2 methide shift. Methide means CH3 minus negatively charged, so this methyl group, right, is move away, right, by taking this bond electron to the nearby carbocation, and this shift is known as the 1,2 methyl shift. Okay, so since it moved to the adjacent carbocation, so it forms the, this carbon becomes now electron deficient, so it forms the carbocation. So this rearrangement, that is secondary carbocation rearrange by 1,2 methyl shift to the tertiary carbocation, known as the Wagner-Mervin rearrangement. Okay, now this beta hydrogen, this is the alpha carbon, this is the beta, so the water molecule here, right, it takes this proton or this hydrogen, and this bond electron move here to form the double bond. Okay, so the deprotonation steps here gives alkene as the major product. Okay, so our expected product was, that is but1-ene 3,3-dimethyl but1-ene, and the obtained product is different, right, since the carbocation is formed and this carbocation rearrange by 1,2 methyl or 1,2 hydride shift to the more stable carbocation and form, that is 3,1,2, that is 2,3-but2-ene as the major product. So the what we expect, right, is different here, since the carbocation rearrangement take place.